How's it going, everybody? This is Dr. Brent with Science of Falling, and today is going to be all about getting off the ground. Now, this is actually a third part to a three-part series I've been doing that I did actually live talks with at assisted living in Andover, Massachusetts. Now, the problem is I did 3 different talks. The last one, getting off the ground, I forgot to turn my mic on. So I have all the video, none of the audio. It was great. I had great questions in the crowd, some stuff I never even thought of. Hopefully I can bring some of that into what we're going to be talking about right now, but I wanted to make sure I had made this video to match the other 3. Now, the series was Balance with Brent, and it had balance, falling, and then this one, getting off the ground. That's the falling continuum. If you're going to fall, you always start with balance, you lose it, then you fall, and then you have to get off the ground. So why is getting off the ground important? Well, if you're not strong enough to get off the ground, or if you say you live alone at home, you could be on the ground for hours and someone may not find you, right? And that's where secondary injury comes in. That's where people, those crazy stories of somebody being stuck somewhere for days and days and days, becoming malnourished, secondary injuries as they try to get around. I've had patients of mine who have fallen, come into this assisted living I work in, actually have wounds on their body from dragging themselves on the ground, which if they got to safety, then it was worth it for the wound. But preferably, we don't want to have wounds when we have these things going on, right? So in this talk, I'm going to talk about how to get up and off the ground, the system I use to teach people how to do that, and then maybe a couple of extra little tidbits from the questions I had in the crowd during that talk. So what I always suggest is you want to build strength for getting off the ground. This is a full body activity. If you can't get up and off of a chair without using your hands, you don't have mastery of your body. So you need to start there. Sit in a chair, try to work on getting up and off of that chair without using your hands, and don't do anything else until you can do that sufficiently 5 to 10 times. Once you can do that, start holding weights up to 10, even 20 pounds. I know, kind of crazy for some people, in your hands, stand up with it, sit back down. You then have the prerequisite strength to get up off the ground no matter what, basically. But if you want to know the step-by-step process for getting off the ground, and we're going to use a chair as some support to help us, then we're essentially going to do this. We're going to do everything in reverse. We're going to teach the whole process in reverse so that you know you're close enough to safety before going full down on the ground and getting it back up. So what I want you to do is grab a chair, and you're going to actually do what I call a half kneel. So you're going to get down, do a little lunge position, use some sort of support, a chair or something, and go down to a half kneel. Once you're there, we go into a tall kneel. Then we can go down to all fours, side sit. We can lay down, and from here, we're on the ground, and we can roll onto our back as if we just fell down. If we go through the whole process, stopping at any one bit that's difficult for us and just working on that as an exercise, we can build the full strength to get up and off the ground that we'll need if a fall, God forbid, it ever happens. So let's say you're doing that half kneel to standing, right? Let's say you're going down, and this is just wicked hard. It's just hard for you. You get stuck here. You got to use both hands, and you got to get up. Well, then just work on that as an exercise. Come down, go back up. Do maybe 5, 6, do 10 of them. Take a break. Come back another day. Do it again. Build that strength up over a couple weeks. Do that for any part of that process of getting down on the ground and then coming back up. If you just work on that, you're 80% of the way there. Once that is understood, that process of going up and down, then you're going to want to work on that without support. So how do I get down without support so that if I ever fall and I'm in a big open room, or let's say I have some sort of injury that prevents me from crawling somewhere, that I can try to get up on my own and be safe without having to go somewhere else. But crawling somewhere is completely okay. Oftentimes, people who are falling like that, unless they're injured, like a younger person might be injured and not be able to go anywhere. But if someone is older, they fall or they're prone to falls, then there's a good chance they're not going to be strong enough to get up even with support in the fashion that I showed you. So what do we do in those instances? That's a real question, right? Those are the people that really want to know how to do this. Well, let's say I fall. The first thing you want to do is relax. Take a beat. Make sure you're not pumped up with adrenaline. Calm down, breathe slow. And then you're going to do a body check. You're going to tap yourself. Make sure you're not bleeding anywhere. Make sure you're not dizzy. Make sure there's no fluid coming out of your ears. Make sure nothing's broken. If you are good, you can carry on. If something is injured, stay where you are and yell and bang the walls and make as much noise as you can to make sure you alert somebody that there's an issue going on and you need help. Once you have that done, if you're good to go, there's no injuries, you're able to roll over safely, then we can figure out what's next. Now, if you do have an injury, like an ankle sprain or something, that's fine. I'm talking more like major broken bones, like your thigh bone is broken, you broke your hip, your entire shoulder's wrecked, you've hurt your head. If any of that's going on, you're probably better off not moving as much as possible while still making as much noise as possible. But let's say you're pretty good. You maybe got an ankle sprain or something, and you're just kind of weak and you can't really get off the ground. But the chair's all the way over there. I'm right here, right? I got to get over there. It's not going to support me otherwise. Well, that's where crawling comes in, and there's different ways to crawl. So one way to crawl is, we get on all fours, and we can crawl on over, put our arms on here, and maybe we can stand up. Or maybe we have to do something like this. We have to kind of wiggle ourselves up on the chair, and now we're in a safe spot. Maybe we're still too weak to stand up, but at least we're in a good spot and we're safe. But maybe, crawling like that's too hard. So maybe we have to do something like butt scooting. So maybe we get up, we got to take some time, get us over. We got to butt scoot using our legs and our arms any way we need to get up to safety. Maybe we're so tired we just have to sit here for a little bit. Or maybe we have to sit against it. And this is our position until someone finds us. That's fine too. But the idea is, if you're away from support, you can't get up, you don't have a cell phone, no one's going to hear you for quite a while. You just have to get somewhere relatively safe and then sit there, calm down, rest, make your next steps, make the next plan. That's the goal. Now, there's so many ways to move yourself on the ground, all fours, that dragging. You can even kind of do a side-lying drag as well. Get creative. Now, I'm making this look pretty quick as I go. But the truth of the matter is, if you fall down, if you're injured, if you're weak, if you're not used to physical activity at all, getting from one end of the room to the other might take you an hour. It might take you 2. That's okay. Rest on the ground. Take a nap. Wake up. Keep on going. As long as you're moving towards safety, that is the only thing that matters. You might get some rug burn. You might get some scrapes and bruises. Totally fine and expected. This is not going to be a fun situation, but survival is the goal. So just get to where you have to go any way you can. Maybe you have to kind of barrel roll on the ground and make the speed process a little faster, but you get a little more banged up. That could save you 2 hours of crawling. But that is the main goal when it comes to a fall scenario like this. Now, there are a couple of ways to get up. Like I showed you already on the chair, crawling over to a chair and using your arms to get up like this, and then trying to get yourself on. That takes a lot of strength. Sometimes it's better to actually steal a couch or something. Here, let me do this. I'm going to use 2 chairs. I say steal a couch, but I really mean just find a couch, find a bed, something you can roll up onto and get yourself to a higher position. So a chair is usually pretty skinny, but if you think about a couch or a bed, they're long, they're wide, you can kind of roll your body up to it. So if you get over to it, you get your whole body up there, you can kind of roll and then support yourself sitting. So that is another alternative. If you have something low like a couch or a bed to roll up onto that gets you to a higher position that allows you to get on your feet, another great alternative for safety. But as you can tell, a lot of this is all about strength. The stronger you are, the safer you are. So that sequence of exercises I showed in the beginning of the video, if you do those enough, just repeat the thing that you're trying to get stronger at, you will get stronger. So rule the body. So do that and be safer. Now that was a good bulk of the stuff I talked about during that talk, but I had some great questions. One of the questions was, what if you're with somebody and that person falls down? Do you help them? If you're strong enough, yes. If you're a big person, yes. This lady happened to be quite tiny. I would imagine only 100 pounds, give or take. So most of the people she's going to be around, on average, are going to be bigger than her. She's on the lower end of the mass scale. So if she tries to pick anybody up, just mass in general is against her. If she could be the strongest 100-pound lady in the world, but if somebody who's 200 pounds is on the ground and needs help getting up, she just doesn't have the leverage to get them up. So the safer thing to do is not help them, because she will end up on the ground. And if she's not strong enough to get up, then we have two people on the ground, two potential injury situations, right? So the best thing is to help that person either by coaching them through some of the stuff we talked about, or help them get into a safe position, get them into what's called a recovery position. So where they're kind of sidelined and their arms are here and they're facing the sleeping position, but if they pass out, if they throw up, if something happens, they're safe. Help them get into that position. And then you want to just go get help. So get as much help as you can, whoever needs it. If you have a cell phone, go call, go to where a phone is at and call. But oftentimes helping somebody else up who is of the same status of you as terms of strength and age and ability is not a good idea. Now, if you're 30 years old and you want to help your grandma up, good job. Just make sure you use proper lifting and body mechanics, use the legs, not the back, and you'll get there pretty good. But that was a very interesting question I had never gotten before. And I will actually show a little video right now of a technique she was told to do, which is by basically making you into a table to use as leverage as if you're the seat like I was showing, and stand up. I don't think that's a great idea. If you don't have the core strength, if you don't have the arm strength, and there's a 100+ pound person pushing on you, you are bound to get your face smashed into the ground. So just don't recommend doing that. Go get help, really, unless you have mass strength and I hate to say it, but age on your side, being a little more resilient as we're much younger. And that is essentially the whole idea of getting off the ground. It is all about making sure you're strong. It's about being patient. It's about making sure you're not injured in doing something risky. And it's also about just being analytical and inquisitive about what tools you have in your environment to help you get off the ground, and being patient if that takes you a while to get to. So that is the whole getting off the ground talk. I hope that was interesting. I really sad I didn't get the full audio on that talk, because there was a lot of interesting questions, some of which I don't quite remember anymore, unfortunately, because I assumed I would have it. And I will learn better for next time. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.